Hello viewers, myself Dr. S. B. Misa from Anna Sahib Auto College Mansar, and I am going to take the topic from MSc Part 2, Analytical Chemistry. I will take the paper CHA 390 section 2, and in this section we have the first topic, that is Introduction to Thermal Methods of Analysis. Introduction to Thermal Methods of Analysis. In this thermal methods of analysis, in terms of introduction, the effect of heat on the matter is being very fascinated to human being, and it is beneficial to human being. The use of fire to cook the food or the use of ice to preserve the food contributed greatly to the settlement and the welfare of the early peoples, and thereby we can say that cooking was perhaps the first chemical experiment. The controlled use of heat allowed the manufacture of ceramics, mortars, glass and metals. The problem that arises with burning material and the damage caused by the fire are frequently seen in early settlement. The alchemist who discovered a tremendous amount of various compounds or materials, the experiments in the synthesis and the decomposition of natural and artificial substances laid the basis of modern chemistry. So, range of substances which are studied increased, and it becomes necessary for the scientist to be able to distinguish between different substances and materials. By studying their properties, reactions, it becomes possible to identify not only the constituents of the substance, but often the particular source from which they came. This probably is the beginning of the analytical chemistry. One can start the study of the material by observing the nature of the range of material, their appearance, mechanical properties, and density, and heating the material also one of the experiment. A small sample, if you take in a test tube, and if you heat that small sample by using the Bunsen burner, then you will find some changes are there taking place in that sample. These changes, for example, if you take the matter and if you heat that matter, then you will find that in that matter some physical changes are taking place. That may be color of the substance, it may get swell, it may show fusion, or sometimes some chemical changes are also taking place. So when the matter is subjected to heat, it shows some physical changes or chemical changes or sometimes both. So small sample, if it is heated in a test tube, it may undergo both physical and chemical changes and may alter in large number of ways, or it may completely stable. Some substances are there which don't have any effect. Say for example, if you take calcium carbonate in this test tube and if you heat, you'll find that there is no physical changes, no chemical changes. That means calcium carbonate or it is quite stable. At very high temperature, the calcium carbonate, it will evolve the carbon dioxide, some chemical changes will be there, and it will lead to the formation of calcium oxide. But that calcium oxide further will not show any kind of changes. So calcium oxide, it is stable to heat. That study can be done by using this heating method. For example, sometimes the color change may be there, substance may melt, substance may sublimes, some vapors may be evolved. physical changes like expansion, swelling, or shrinkage, or sometimes no change may be there. So the addition of some simple apparatus to determine accurately the temperature of the event, at what temperature that event is happening, that can be monitored by using simple apparatus like thermobalance. And to control the heating, that heating also one can control. We can increase the heating rate, we can decrease the heating rate, and we can also measure the color by using some simple apparatus. So any changes in weight or perhaps the extent of expansion or the nature of volatile evolved gives the great information about the analyte. As far as the historical development of the thermal methods of analysis is concerned, it can be divided into three eras. The early development, or you can say early development. In earlier times, the scientists like Mackenzie, Lavoisier and Laplace, Fourier and Joule have great work in thermal methods of analysis. For example, Mackenzie includes an account of thermometry from 16th century. Lavoisier and Laplace definition of thermometric scales and the start of the practical calorimetry in the 18th century. You'll find that in 18th century, Lavoisier and Laplace have done the work. The Fourier performed the heat conduction experiment. Joule performed the heating, electrical heating and calorimetry. But what the drawback was there? The drawback of their equipment was they often require large quantity of the sample and their experiments were very time consuming. So to overcome these things, the development in the scientific instrument during the early part of the 20th century. So early part of 20th century is the another era. In this early part of the 20th century, there is development of the scientific instrument took place. The measurement of the coefficient of expansion of silica by Henning. Then using an optical method led to the development of modern interferometric dialectrometers, and the design of the thermobalance, especially by Honda, has led the modern thermogrametric system. And the third part is the second half of the 20th century. In the second half of the 20th century, vast improvement in the instrumentations, sensors, data acquisition, storage and processing have been made, especially with the advent of microprocessor. The help of computer or computers get associated with these instruments of thermal methods of analysis. The thermal methods of analysis are now used in very large range of scientific investigations. Various areas are there where the thermal methods of analysis is necessary. The chemical areas such as polymers, fine organic chemicals and pharmaceutical, where the thermal methods of analysis are important. Applications also found in electronics, in construction, geology and engineering, and in material science and in quality control labs. The thermal methods of analysis generally gives the information which was impossible to obtain by other analytical methods, and very often a complex material such as a polymer composite will show definite and characteristic effect on the heating which relate to its nature and the composition and the history. These observations are very much informative about the property and the working life of the material. Some definitions which are generally used in the thermal methods of analysis, and these definitions they are provided by International Confederation for Thermal Analysis and Calorimetry. So International Confederation for Thermal Methods of Analysis and Calorimetry, ICTAC. This is the body which gives the definitions of various terms which are used in thermal methods of analysis. So first definition, that is the thermal analysis. So according to ICTSE, the thermal analysis is defined as a group of technique in which a property of sample is monitored against time or temperature, while the temperature of the sample in a specified atmosphere is programmed. So you'll have to heat that material in a programmed manner, and the change in the property of the sample is to be monitored against time or temperature. This type of analysis is called as thermal analysis. The program may involve heating or cooling at a fixed rate of temperature change, or holding the sampler at temperature which is constant for it and for any subsequence of these. The word sample is interpreted to mean the sample which is present in the apparatus, or one crucible is there in the thermogrametric apparatus, and the sample which is placed, or material which is placed in that crucible, is termed as the sample. The adjective is thermoanalytical. The graphical results which are obtained are called as thermal analysis curve. So whatever the property you are measuring as a function of time or temperature, if you plot that, the graph which is obtained is called as thermal analysis curve. Here one care should be taken to distinguish between derivative and differential. The differential techniques involves measurement of difference. So when it is differential technique, it involves the measurement of a difference in the property between the sample and reference. For example, in case of DTA, differential thermal analysis, DTA. In differential thermal analysis, the difference in the temperature between sample and reference is measured as a function of time or temperature. The derivative techniques, on the other hand, the derivative techniques involves the mathematical derivation. So it is the mathematical derivative or calculation of the mathematical first derivative, usually with respect to time, is measured. For example, in case of DTG, differential derivative thermogrametric analysis, the measurement of the rate of mass loss is as the time rate of mass loss, that is dm by dt, is plotted against time. So that is the first derivative plot. So there should be clear-cut idea that differential is measurement of difference and derivative is mathematical first derivative. Some examples, some symbols are used to interpret the thermal analysis. If the symbols refer to the object like sample or the furnace, then it should have capital letter and subscript form. So when the symbol is there for your sample or the furnace, then that should be represented by the capital letter subscript. For example, suppose if the temperature of reference is there, temperature of reference, since it is temperature, it is T, and it is for reference, so it is subscript capital R, and it is measured in terms of Kelvin. If it is mass, sample mass, then sample mass, it is denoted by the letter M, and since it is for sample, capital S subscript should be given, and it is expressed in terms of kg. If it is difference in the temperature, then difference is denoted by delta, and since it is for temperature, it is subscript capital T, and it is measured in terms of K. Apart from that, if the symbols are referred for the phenomena, say for example, if it is melting, if it is bending, or to a point, then it should have a small letter subscript. Then if you are interpreting that symbol for the phenomenon taking place in the matter, then it should be indicated by a small letter subscript. Different thermal methods of analysis are there. We will see one by one. The first one is thermogrametry. It is also termed as TG or thermogrametric analysis, that is TGA. In this case, the mass of the sample is the measured property and it is used in the decomposition reaction, dehydration reaction and oxidation reaction. Then second one is differential thermal analysis. Differential thermal analysis, that is DTA. And in this technique, the temperature difference between the sample and the reference is measured, and this technique is used for the phase changes reactions. Then we have differential scanning calorimetry. It is also denoted by the symbol DSC, differential scanning calorimetry, in which the power difference between the sample and reference is measured so that it is used to calculate the heat capacity, phase changes reactions and calorimetric reaction. Then we have thermomechanical analysis. Number 4 is thermomechanical analysis, TMA, in which the deformations of the substance are studied and it is used in the mechanical changes and expansion of that material. The mechanical changes and the expansions of that material can be studied by using this TMA technique. Then we have dynamic mechanical analysis, that is DMA. Number 5 is DMA, that is dynamic mechanical analysis. In the dynamic mechanical analysis, the moduli of the compound is studied and it is used in the phase changes of the polymer can be used. Then we have dielectric thermal analysis. Number 6 is dielectric thermal analysis, that is DETA, dielectric thermal analysis. So this DETA technique, the permittivity of the substance is measured. Then we have Ewald gas analysis. Number 7, Ewald gas analysis, where the Ewald gases are monitored as a function of temperature or time. The Ewald gases are studied, and this type of technique is used in the decompositions, catalyst and the surface reactions. Then we have thermooptimetry. The next technique is thermooptimetry. In this case, the optical property of the substance is measured. So these are the 8 techniques which are very frequently used in the thermal methods of analysis. Apart from these frequently used techniques, some less frequently used techniques are also there. For example, thermoosmometry, TS, where the sound property of the material is studied. Then we have thermomagnetometry, where the magnetic property of the material is studied. Then we have thermoluminescence, where the luminescence property or light emitted by that substance is studied. Then we have emulsion thermal analysis, ETA, where the gases which are released while heating the substance are studied, and the structural changes of the substance can be studied by using this technique. Apart from this, some techniques like simultaneous thermal analysis, controlled rate thermal analysis, these are also the techniques which are used in thermal methods of analysis. Regarding the remaining definitions used in the thermal methods of analysis, we will see it in a next video.